Welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at what I call lifetime fortune, how investors fuel your success. So in today's video, we're going to take a deep dive in what I call the lifetime worth of an investor. This number is mind-boggling when you figure it out. When you figure out how much even one investor, one joint venture partner, one private lender is worth to you over the lifetime of your working relationship with that person. When you discover this number, it's going to open up a whole new world of possibilities for you. You're going to understand exactly why it's so important to really put focus on attracting these kind of investors and these kind of joint venture partners. Stay tuned. So we're talking about the lifetime worth of an investor to you today. And I first figured this out many, many years ago when I had a language training company in all places, San Jose, Costa Rica. And when I crunched the number, I learned this from a gentleman named Jay Abraham. He talked the lifetime value of a client, okay? And I crunched the number, I realized that a client was worth $12,000 to me over our working relationship. And that number was pretty high at that time. And that helped me determine how much I was ready to spend and how much effort I was ready to do to get on a new client. And understanding that number helped me to take my little language training company from the bottom of the pack to the top 3 in about 2.5 years. I had a pretty competitive marketplace, over 50 competitors in that marketplace. Fast forward a decade or two, and I started doing real estate investing, started doing client first rent to own deals. And for some reason I thought, hey, why don't I figure out how much an investor is worth to me over the lifetime of a working relationship. So I crunched the numbers, and the number blew my mind because it was $120,000. So business number one, lifetime worth of a client was $12,000. Real estate investing was $120,000, 10 times more from one person, one investor. And that just opened my eyes. And that was with that particular strategy many years ago. Since doing different strategies, and in my case, focusing on multifamily properties, that number has increased dramatically. So I want to show you very, very briefly today how to figure out the lifetime worth of an investor for you. And there's going to be resources in the description below. You can check that out, get the full training there. But bottom line, what you want to figure out is you want to figure out, number one, what is your average profit on a deal? So by the time the smoke clears and you've paid your investors and you've paid out all of your expenses, what is your take home before taxes on an average deal? And you have to take into account all of the different profit centers. And depending on what kind of real estate investing you're doing, there might be 1 or 2 all the way up to 8 different ways that you and your investor partners profit from a deal. So you have to figure that out and come up with a ballpark figure of your average profit on a deal. So that's step number one. Once you've figured that out, the next thing you want to figure out is how many investors do you need to do that kind of deal? So if it's a traditional kind of smaller deal and a joint venture kind of arrangement, it's very, very simple. One investor, one deal. So let's say you need one investor to do that kind of deal. That's all that you have to worry about there, okay? So let's just, for simple numbers, let's say we're looking at single family homes and we're looking at how much an investor is worth for us in doing a typical kind of long-term buy and hold of a single family home. So let's say that over the course of holding onto the property for 10 years, let's say conservatively, we make $100,000 profit on that property from all of the different profit centers: instant equity, cash flow, mortgage pay down, depreciation, appreciation, forced depreciation, all of these different ways that we create value from the real estate deal. So let's say that when the smoke clears, our portion of the profits comes up to about $100,000 over that 10-year time frame, okay? And we need one investor partner to do that kind of deal, okay? Simple math would say one investor partner is worth $100,000 to us. But that's not where it stops, right? Because that's just one deal. Next thing we need to take a look at is repeat business. So if our investor is happy with us, how many times will they reinvest with us over time? Okay, very important number there. So let's say, for argument's sake, that over the lifetime of our working relationship, that investor does 2 deals with us. So now that $100,000 profit has now turned into $200,000 Pretty cool, huh? That's where real wealth starts getting created in real estate investing. And the good news is we're creating that value for our investor as well. So it's a win-win scenario. But it doesn't just stop there. We also need to take a look at what happens if that investor refers other people to us that are similar to them, right? So at this point, if they just did the deal with us, just did 2 deals with us over time, it'd be $200,000 lifetime worth. But let's say they referred one more person to us who did something similar. Now we've doubled that. Now that's $400,000. Do you see where I'm going there? The lifetime worth of that one investor doing 2 deals with us over time and then referring another investor to us has now bumped up to $400,000. Let that sink in for a little bit. And I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to put a link in there. We've got a whole calculator on my website, Money Partner Formula / calculator, where you can crunch the number for your type of deals as well. And I highly recommend that you do that, because once you understand what this number is, it's going to revolutionize your entire life. You're going to be able to kind of calculate how many investor partners you want to bring on board to achieve your long-term goals. And then the good news is, while you're achieving your goals, you're helping them achieve their goals, doing something they cannot or will not do on their own, and that's investing in real estate. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, check out that resource and have a fun story for you. One of our clients, Anthony Spraggett, he'd already been raising some capital from investor partners, and they were doing small commercial building renovations, like buying really old commercial properties, renovating the insides of them, turning them into either mixed use or residential multifamily type properties, doing very, very well with that. And when he learned about this whole concept of the lifetime worth of an investor, he crunched the numbers on that, absolutely blew his mind. I think his number was something close to $900,000. So again, check that out. And once you understand that, this should motivate you to go out and do what's needed to find and raise private capital. All right, if you like the idea of finding investors, more importantly, attracting investors to you and raising private money, then you're going to love my book, Money Partner Formula. Go ahead, visit investorattractionbook.com. This will walk you through this entire process of finding out the lifetime worth of an investor, plus show you step by step how to raise 6 figures in a matter of weeks and 7 figures in a matter of months. Go ahead, grab your copy today.